That's scary. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, check 1 2, check 1 2.
Yeah, we got to turn that on.
Yeah.
How's that? Is that better now that
Now
it's
I
on?
can hear you, yes.
Okay. All right.
Do they?
Well, they're.
I mean, they start at the 35?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Lorain High School freshman football action here on WLCS TV 20. My name is Gary Pelter. I'm here with Jay Ferguson, and we're going to bring you this football game on this fine Thursday afternoon.
It is a beautiful day for football, Gary, and welcome aboard. I think this is the first time we've worked together.
I believe it has.
And that's the Titans in blue. First play, they gained 4 yards straight ahead. We're going to have some problems with numbers back and forth all day. We'll warn everybody now.
Joshua May back to take the snap, hands it off, and it's going to be off the right tackle right there for a pickup of about maybe a yard and a half.
Both of these teams are not successful record-wise on the season, but at this level, what you're looking for is development as much as anything. And you've mentioned the quarterback.
We know development is important, but kids like to win once in a while.
Well, yeah. Josh May is also the backup varsity quarterback. That's how developmental we are here. Of course, without a program last year.
And he's got two backs on either side of him right now. He picks it up off the turf and takes it himself around the left side. He's going to be bottled up for a no gain, it looks like, and it's going to bring up a fourth down situation for the Titans.
Yeah, snap was a little low, and Josh just tried to follow the play. And it looked like he was going to try to run for the corner, but got outflanked.
They did give him credit for about a yard and a half maybe.
4th and 2, looks like they're going to go.
Well, with the ball down there on their own.
Oh, now Josh
43.
May goes down on the ground. That's not a good thing. That might make the decision a little different when your quarterback is down, Gary.
Unless he's the punter.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens here.
Well, but it does give me a chance to mention that the Carry-Out Spaghetti Dinner fundraiser is coming up Wednesday, October 13th at the Lorain High School cafeteria from 3 to 6 p.m. It's for the school levy to help support that committee, sponsored by the Levy Committee and Aramark. The number to call for tickets is 440-654-8853. And for $10 for your dinner, you get spaghetti, meatballs, salad, roll, butter, all the and cookies. Let's not forget the cookies.
No, I never forget the cookies.
$10 is as good a fundraiser price as you're going to find. Now, well, Josh May is up.
That is a carry-out function.
Yes.
So you can pick it up and take it home and enjoy it.
Due to COVID, of course.
Josh May is coming gingerly off to the sidelines.
Yes. It'll be interesting to see just who is going to take this snap.
He's not getting much attendance to him.
Yeah, looks like
hopefully it's a cramping situation.
Tracy Huff is in at quarterback. He makes a cut.
Quick snap.
Well, he's got a first down.
Yeah, got the big push, got to the first down marker, and the Titans are going to get the first down of the ball game.
Well, you talk about yards after contact and finishing runs, and Tracy Huff got a nice push in there from number 35, who is absent on my roster.
Oh, of course it is.
Oh. Yeah, I'm not seeing that number. I apologize to that young man, but he did a nice job pushing the pile. He was in the original starting backfield, and he got behind Huff and just moved the whole stack.
And that's a big first down right there for the Titans. They've got the ball now down on their 46-yard line. First down situation, a direct snap once again. And going to take the ball, pick up about 4 yards.
I'm going to think that without their starting quarterback, now he's going to try and come back, it looks like. I was going to say this is going to be a single wing-like offense. And May comes back in, walking gingerly.
And you mentioned that we are somewhat handicapped with the number situation. We're also handicapped with the clock situation this afternoon as well. We have no clock operator, ladies and gentlemen, so we're going to try and keep you as updated as possible.
We know that we started with 10 minutes. We don't know what's left now. Snap bounces back, wants to throw. May wants to throw. He's got a man out there. This is going to be a touchdown, huh? Alex Christian, number 7.
Nice play. Christian went just with the straight-up fly pattern right down the left sideline, and they get the touchdown, and the Titans take the lead.
51 yards, and I don't know if Josh May was, healthy on that throw, but he sure looked like it. He hit him right in stride.
He hit him,
and Alex Christian did the rest. He got behind the cornerback, and he was all alone.
You might have said, Coach, I'm good for one.
Yeah. That makes you feel a lot better for the next one. And now they go back to the single wing look.
That's right. They come back with the single wing. They got 3 backs in the backfield, 2 out, 2 receivers out to the right side. Once again, a direct snap, and number 35 is tackled in the backfield for a loss, but an unsuccessful point after attempt.
13, Chad Evans came through unblocked and took him down. But the Titans are on top, 6-0. Wow. And in this year of so many strange occurrences, the Titans have to feel good about getting first blood here.
Yeah, they come out, they pick up a first down, and even though the quarterback had to come off to the sidelines for a couple of plays, he comes in right back in and throws that long 51-yard touchdown pass to Christian, and hey, that's a good feeling if you're on the Titans sideline, that's for sure.
Now the Titans will come out on defense for the first time. 3 down linemen, 3 backers. Oop.
Garfield Heights with a spread look back there.
One of the Titans' interior linemen started dancing before the music was playing, and that'll cost 5.
And that's going to bring up a first down and 5 situation. It's always easier to start when you got that going.
Quarterback keeps.
Number 13 takes it down the field.
That is Chad Evans, the man that made the tackle on the 2-point conversion.
And we're probably looking at these numbers, going to see a lot of guys going both ways.
Yep. No doubt about it.
Dead.
Yep.
Garfield Heights comes up with a first down, and they've got the ball now on the Titans' 35-yard line. I'm a little bit of a loss, Jake, because this is usually where I will say how much time is left.
Yes. We know we're still in the first quarter, but we know little more than that. I'm going to guess there's somewhere between 5 and 6 minutes left.
And ball this time.
Little bubble screen action.
Bubble screen action. We've got a all right. That time it was number 1 taking the.
And that's a name that we don't have. We have Chad Evans as number 1 in blue and number 13 in white. And since he's the quarterback, we're going to go with him as 13. But we don't have a number 1 for.
We don't have a number 1 in white.
Right. And so we're going to apologize to that young man and try to get it at halftime and see what we can do.
And that'll bring up a second down and about 5 situation for Garfield Heights. They're having a little challenging time getting the correct personnel in there, or at least getting them lined up correctly.
It's all part of it at this level.
Snap rolling out to the right, and he takes a quick look downfield, and then he's going to take it all himself and go down and pick up another first down and get inside the 20, down to about the 17-yard line.
And that was our man number 1, who we don't have the number 4. He seems like a little bit more the Wildcat guy. That when Evans 13 is in there, they're more likely to throw it.
And that brings up a first down on the 18-yard line. Garfield Heights now moving the ball.
Now we're back to Evans at quarterback, Gary.
Well,
Or maybe not.
The man who we think. Well, Evans is in the backfield.
He's in the backfield.
Let's say 13 and 1 are in the backfield.
Yep.
Which one is actually wearing that number? We're assuming Evans is 13.
Well, there's a whistle. Al Ivy's got a timeout.
And who called that timeout?
Garfield Heights called it. They want to talk things over inside the red zone here.
And that's probably a good timeout. If you've got questions about your personnel or what you want to run, you've got a second down situation, and this is an opportunity for them to score some points.
Well, and you've kind of rotated between the two in the backfield as quarterback, and I'm going to guess that when they signaled that play in, they thought that 13 Evans was going to be the QB, not number 1, because he seems to have the better arm. So when you're running people in and out, you got to get them all the pieces in the right squares. Now, again, Evans is going to be the setback as he switches sides.
Yeah, he's lined up in the on the slot man, wing, and we're going to have motion, and we're going to bring that one back. After a timeout, that's what we came up with.
I think the man that shifted to the wing wasn't set when the other wing came in motion.
So we're going to move Garfield Heights back 5 yards, and we're going to try it all over again.
Al Ivy, a veteran official and a guy that you're going to see at most any Lorain sporting event you come to, whether it's baseball in the fall or summer.
And on any level, too.
Yes.
You'll see him freshman, junior. I've seen him at junior high basketball games.
Yep.
He's all over.
And he just loves the kids. And the kids love him because he's very good, not over-officious. There's the jet sweep, the same play.
Yep, number 11 taking the ball around the left side. He's going to pick up about 12 and take it out of bounds.
Well, I think that he's not going to get as much as we first thought because the ball ended up on the track. It got popped out of his hand when he got hit.
Well, let's see where they mark this at.
So there, it looks like about the 14-yard line.
Well, we're still going to give him about 8.
Yeah.
Bring up a 3rd down and 7 situation. Garfield Heights threatening their first possession of the ball game.
Lorain scored on theirs.
This is a big defensive play right here for Lorain.
Yes, it is. These next two, because I'm sure we'll see him go.
Ball is snapped. Taking this ball himself all the way around to the right side. He's going to get down to the 1-yard line, but we've got a flag in the backfield, and you think we've got a little illegal procedure out there, Jay?
Just before the snap, the left end went from his stance down to one knee. Now, I'm thinking that that's going to be illegal motion. But the young man on the box had already moved. It's definitely a flag on Garfield.
Well, they're going to move back now.
They're going to move back 10 yards. So it was a holding behind the play.
All right.
There's a special place in heaven for these guys that come out on weekday afternoons and officiate these games, because you never know who you're going to have on the sticks or anything like that.
Sometimes they're just grabbing guys out of the stands.
Oh, I'm sure.
Hey,
yeah.
You want to run the sideline today?
Yeah, instead of running your punishment drills, here it is.
All right, it's going to be a 3rd down and about 17 or 18. A quick pitch to the left side, and that's going to be
there's the football.
Evans, and the ball is out. And what do we got? It's going to be Lorain's football. And they have successfully stopped the Garfield Heights drive.
Number 61, Robert Brown Jr. ended up on that football. And the Titans turn them over, Gary. Big stop.
Nice job by the defense. And yes, it was a nice stop. Garfield Heights was moving the football. They had stopped themselves with several penalties.
Yes, I was going to say that was.
But
they'd handled the ball loosely. I mean, they'd put it on the ground a couple plays before that.
But the Titans are opportunistic and get the football after the fumble and bring their offense back out onto the field.
And that's Josh May coming back out. This is really an interesting formation.
Yes, now we're
better.
I thought we had three backs right next to Josh May there for a second. He's going to loft it up in the air, and there it is once again to Christian.
And he's gonna. Oh, he stepped out of bounds. They had him out of bounds.
Nonetheless, still going to be a nice pickup.
And Bill Grooms said, I didn't think you saw that, because Groomsy was down there with his arms up in the air right away when he beat the defensive back, but
it's going to be a pickup of about 26 yards.
Yeah, Christian stepped on the sideline. I thought so too. My home team eyes didn't want to see it and hope nobody else did, but I thought he was out of bounds. Nice throw. Got it over the defender, who was in a straight line between the quarterback and the receiver.
I must admit, I thought that ball was up there an awful long time. I thought the defender was going to have a shot at it.
Yeah.
But they got it out there, and Christian caught it and still picked up 27 yards before he went out of bounds.
That's a bad snap and going to
it's rolled back there to May, and he's going to just be smothered for about a 7-yard loss.
Now, one of the things that if we could show people our roster, they would understand more. It looks like a jack-o'-lantern with about 3 teeth with all the blank spots in it. And it's because there's several freshmen that have been moved up to fill in spots at the varsity/JV level. And veteran coaches Dave McFarland and Bill Grooms understand, but are still frustrated.
And we got a completion out there. Going to pick up 2 yards.
Number 1, Tylon Taylor on the reception.
Tylon with a nice catch, and his first catch of the ball game.
They're going to put Jerry Rice, number 7, Alex Christian, back in.
He might be talking over there and saying, you want to run that fly pattern again?
Well, they're going to put him in. Looks like they're going to put him in the backfield.
Well, let's see what they've got going on here. They do have him in the backfield at this point. He's lined up to the left of Joshua May. Where he ends up, we'll see.
He's going to throw. Throwback.
And that time he hung the ball up there a little bit. He was trying to get it to Joshua May. They're going to return the favor.
Number 3, John Johnson, the third, made the play. He just didn't have enough space. You want to run that, and you want to get the receiver outside the defense farther than they did. So now it's 4th and 13, and they'll talk things over.
Yeah, I think there's 2 things with that. You talk about the spacing, and then there's also the somewhat carrying out a fake. There wasn't really much of a fake there. The defense, the linebackers didn't really bite on that, or the defensive backs. And it looks like we've got a timeout on the field.
That's the end of the first quarter, Gary.
Well, there we go. He's just zipped right through it without any clock. And at the end of 1, it is Lorain 6, Garfield Heights nothing. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more from George Daniel Stadium right after this. Back out here, getting ready to start the second quarter of action. Garfield Heights with the football. And an incomplete pass over to the left side.
That's interesting. There wasn't a receiver. The closest guy to it was the official. Now, I'm not certain about the high school rule. He threw. Okay, they are going to make it grounding. Al Ivy's got the grounding penalty back there. They communicated well.
I'm wondering if he thought there was supposed to be a receiver
right
out there, and somebody just wasn't there.
Well, he also looked over at the bench and saw a gaggle of white shirts over there that were teammates that are probably on defense. And so that's a big, big loss.
Yeah, when you've got defenders coming at you, you just want to get rid of the football and save it down. But he has now put the Garfield Heights Ball Club in a rather precarious situation. Second down and 15.
24, Gary. With the
24, excuse me.
Yeah, the loss of down as well. And there's a play made behind the line.
And another loss of about 7 yards. 6 yards.
Wow. So now the defense is driving.
Maybe not quite as big of a loss as I thought.
Yeah.
About 3 or 4.
So it looks like the ball's on the 15, and they've got to get to the 42. So 27 yards to go here on third down.
That may be a challenge to punt it that far, let alone.
I was down on the field while their punter was warming up, and I'll tell you that it's going to be.
All right, Garfield Heights, third down and a mile.
Well, timeout taken there. I think wisely, the last thing they need is another, move them back anymore. Because if you do end up punting from back there, you don't want to be kicking it from your end zone.
Yeah, the big thing right here is for Lorain is they just don't want to give up a big play and give up that first down. All they have to do is basically play prevent defense and stop them from picking up 20 yards, and they're going to be okay.
Interesting now that one of the chain crew was downfield. Now I'm not sure what they're doing.
They are moving the chain.
Did the chain break?
I'm not quite sure what they're doing here. Are they flipping the ends of the field?
Didn't we do that? No, we didn't, did we?
We did not, because Garfield Heights was going.
Yeah.
They were going south, and then they ended the quarter, and then they.
You're right. That's what's going on now. They're flipping the field, and they've got to get to the 42.
Who caught that in the middle of a drive?
Yeah. The ball is still on the 15. They still have to get to the 42. It's still third down, but we're down south instead of up north.
All right. After that precarious turn of events, we're going to try it again. Same situation, just from the other direction. All right, the ball is snapped, going down the field. It's popped up. Wow. Nice interception right there for the Titans, and they get their second turnover of the ball game, and they're going to have a nice field position at about their own, or about at the Garfield Heights 28-yard line.
And that was Alex Christian, who we've seen catch the ball on offense. He went up and one-handed it, Gary. That was the play of the day.
He did. That looked like a big rebound in a basketball game. He went up and stuck it with that right hand and pulled it down, and now once again the Titans are in good shape.
What a play that was. And
off the tip drill in play there.
28-yard line, right back in business for the Lorain offense.
Got May back there at quarterback.
Tracy Huff, number 19. And number 35.
That we do not know.
We do not have.
The ball is snapped, handed off to 35.
Of
35 tackled in the backfield for a loss of a couple yards.
Can't find a name there. So loss of 5 on first down, and that play just didn't have a chance to go anywhere.
Ever get that feeling you just kind of want to yell out the window and say, "Hey, anybody know who 35 is?"
Yeah.
All right. Titans ball is snapped, and a swing pass out there going to be unsuccessful to
35.
You guessed it, 35. Joshua May.
He's the player to be named later, Gary.
That's in more ways than one.
And that's the right idea with the pressure they've seen between the tackles, trying to get the ball out wide, which is where Lorain's success has come on offense. Now Dave McFarland out there, giving him a play.
And May's going to be here in a 3rd down and 14 situation.
I'm sure he's got 2 downs, providing nothing negative happens.
Yeah, ideally they like to pick up 6-7 yards, and here we go. And he's going to put it up again. Christian's going to get the ball. Did he get it?
Touchdown.
Yes, he did.
Another circus catch.
Christian with another touchdown, his 2nd of the ball game, and couple that with an interception to start this drive off.
And he's over 100 yards and 3 receptions, Gary.
And what do we got that? That was
33.
33 yards.
He had 26 at the beginning of that drive, or at the end of the last drive, and he had 51 on the touchdown in the first quarter. So he's had an afternoon for himself.
Wonder what that young man had for breakfast and lunch. He might want to keep up that menu next week.
And I'll tell you, it takes some concentration to do what he did when that ball is tipped like it was, and he stayed with it from about the 5-yard line into the end zone for the touchdown.
Yeah, it was tipped. It was tipped by him as well,
yes,
about 3 times before he finally pulled it in.
Swing pass.
You got that one out to the right side, but it's going to be stopped.
Read well by the linebacker.
They've tried.
That is number 6, Deshaun Phillips. He read it from the outside. You know, he played his position very well. He had the man out of the backfield, and he stayed with him and made the play.
Well, we don't have a scoreboard operating up there, but we can tell you this. It's 12-0 Lorain High over Garfield Heights sometime in the 2nd quarter.
And I'll tell you what, Gary, this is going to do a world of good for these kids to get off to a start like this. That, it's been a long year for the Titan program, coming back from 18 months off. And you can see it on the sidelines. You can see it in the excitement that these kids have, a little bit of cockiness to them for the first time all year.
Well, yeah, I mean, things are going good for them. They're out here. They've stopped 2 Garfield Heights drives with turnovers,
right,
a fumble recovery and an interception. They've given up a few yards to them, but they've been successful enough to stop the drives.
Right. And Garfield Heights has aided them with the penalties. For the last drive, it was the grounding penalty that put him in the backfield. Here's a jet sweep.
Number 6
going to work.
Taking it around the right end, and he's got nobody near him yet until the ball gets all the way down to the Lorain 25-yard line.
Looks like about a 38-yard gain from the 35 down to the, looks like they're looking at the 28, 37 yards.
Big pickup there.
And that was the smoothest looking play they run. I think that was 6, Deshaun Phillips was the ball carrier. And the timing of that just looked better than anything they've done on offense today.
And Deshaun was very smooth, like you said, going around that right end and just went right down the field.
Now he's lined up on the far side on the wing. Here comes in motion again, same play, different side. And he does get the corner.
Taking it around the right end, nobody near him, and finally he's drug out of bounds at about the 9-yard line.
So 2 plays takes them from their own 35 down to First and goal. It looks like they're going to spot it right on the 10. And that was Phillips again.
Yes, Deshaun Phillips, number 6 on our program.
And now what, obviously Garfield Heights has found something that works. They've gone to it twice. They've gained 55 yards in 2 plays.
And they've got themselves inside the 10-yard line.
Yep, first and goal. This is number 1 with Evans behind him this time. There's the motion.
Evans.
It's straight ahead behind the motion.
Evans takes it on the right side, and he's going to take it all the way to the corner for the touchdown.
Well, that was easy. 65 yards in 3 plays.
We're going to give him a 10-yard run.
Yep. Most of the work was done by Phillips, but
Evans got to finish it off.
Yep.
Took it around that right side. Did a nice move, bounced outside the block, and took it to the pylon for the first score of the ball game for Garfield Heights.
They've obviously got something they like to do on the extra point. They've got it on the hash mark, as is their option.
And now they're going to come up to the line of scrimmage. And let's see what we've got. We've got one in the backfield taking the snap. He takes it. He's going to keep it himself around the left side.
Yeah.
And he's going to get into the end zone for the 2-point conversion.
No,
they're going to say he was out at the goal line.
He fumbled through the end zone.
All right.
Once again, the ball being caught loose. And there, let's credit whoever that Titan was there that made the play in not giving up on it. And he knocked the ball loose as it crossed the goal line. So it'll be 12-6, but that's a lot different than 12-8.
And that's good news on the Titans side.
Nobody has converted in 3 attempts of the 2-point conversion. Now let's see.
Lorain's going to come out
at the 35 as starts the freshman level.
Now, we've been playing here in the second quarter for a little bit, but I'm still feeling that there's a decent amount of time left.
I'm going to agree. 12-6 Lorain on 2 long touchdown passes from Joshua May to Tracy Huff.
All right, let's see what we've got here for the Titans. Got one receiver split out to the left, one to the right with a man in the slot and 2 backs in the backfield on either side of Evans. Or excuse me, May.
Nice pitch and catch there on the look-in. That's Tylon Taylor.
Tylon Taylor with another catch. He had a catch earlier in the ball game.
Well, he's out to the 40.
He's going to pick up 5 yards and set up a 2nd down and 5 for the Titans.
They've gone to the quick pass for the most part. May's got a bad ankle. You could still see him kind of limping. And trying to get outside the box, which is, as you can see there, it's a 5-man defensive line with 2 backers. There's another one. And behind the receiver.
And it looked like Tylon Taylor was kind of being tackled before the ball even got there, but I don't see any flag out on the field.
The ball wasn't near him in any way. I don't know.
Is there a possibility the ball was tipped when it was coming out?
Could have been.
Because at that point, he's fair game.
Yes. I think May was expecting to turn out, and he turned in. Was part of the deal.
3rd down and 5 for the Titans.
21, Cesar Melendez is way out there to the left, Gary.
Joshua May drops back, throws it up, and that time he underthrew Christian.
Well, that time Christian and Taylor were in the same neighborhood, and it just somebody, I'm thinking, was running the wrong route. Somebody was supposed to cut in rather than fly.
Yeah, you ended up with actually 3 defenders there for Garfield Heights, which is not an ideal situation for if you're on offense. They got you outnumbered. That's going to bring up a...
No, I'm not sure what's happening.
I thought that was a third down situation.
Well, that might be the end of the half. Now they're calling the chain crew.
We haven't got a definitive answer out here yet, folks.
No.
And
Coach Grooms is out talking to the defense. Now, I know. Oh, you know what? I'm going to tell you what this is.
This is the no punting
situation? It's the
situation?
no punt. It's the LEL has a no punt rule at the freshman level. So you move the ball 25 yards. They were on the 40. They go to the 35. And it's the same thing as a punt. And it's 1st and 10 for Garfield at their 35. Not because it's the 35, but because that's 25 yards from the previous line of scrimmage.
Okay. Something that I have not yet experienced, but I have heard whispers of it. Oh, and a quick pass out to the left, or to the right flats.
Played nicely by number 4, Joseph Gaines.
Joseph Gaines did a nice job out there to
behind the
that
line.
play
A little
down.
bit of a loss.
Yeah, it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 2 situation. Or 2nd down and 12 situation, or 11 situation, I should say. The guy that's got the ball marker, he's kind of just wandering over there a little bit.
This is his first attempt at that, and I do not know that for a fact, but I know how these things work, having had to recruit people to do them. There's the jet sweep again, but he cuts it up. A nice cut. And this is going to go a long way. Got a nice downfield block that's going to get called a hold.
And he's got a pickup of about, well, would be 25 yards, but it's going to come back.
Tylon Taylor made the tackle after he got out of the hold. And just as I was crediting the wide receiver for sustaining his block for as long as he did, the flag came out right at him.
Deshaun Phillips, you described it the best way possible. He is smooth when he's running the football.
So they'll mark it off from the spot, Gary, so it's not a total loss. They picked up 4 yards and get the down over, so instead of 2nd and 11, it's going to be 2nd and 7 because the penalty occurred at the 48.
All right. Garfield Heights coming out to the line of scrimmage. They've got 3 receivers out to the right side, 1 split out to the left, 1 back in the backfield.
I would hope that while the defense was out, that Coach Groom said, you better find number 6.
And quarterback rolling out to the right side, and he's going to turn it upfield himself, but step out of bounds after a short pickup, and we're going to have a flag over there.
That's going to be a late hit after the whistle. Somebody got him. For Lorain, Tracy Huff, number 19, came up and played that real well, but the QB got outside of him to the sideline. He stepped out and continued up the sideline, but after he was out of bounds, he got hit. Now, he's down. That is 13 Evans, and he is down on the ground at about the 39. So we'll see. This is a dead ball, personal foul.
Yeah, he would have had about a 5-yard pickup, and
right.
You have to be aware when you hear the whistle, you have to stop.
Not dirty, just over-exuberant, I think.
Oh, I agree with that.
So they're going to move it to the Lorain side of the 50. Looks like they're going to put it at the 45.
And yes, Garfield Heights is going to have the football on the Lorain 45 and a half. And without us knowing the exact amount of time that's left, we just know it's somewhere late in the second quarter of play.
Now, is that the second quarter that they didn't change ends for?
Yes, we've had some interesting situations, especially this late in the season.
So now it's 1st and 10.
Garfield Heights.
Evans is out. He was the injured player. Our good friend number 1 is the quarterback. Number 11, Jelon Isom is the back.
And he's going to hand it once again off to number 6, Phillips. And Phillips is going to take it, but he's got the ball stripped away, and it's rolling around out there, and it looks like
a nice fumble recovery there by Joshua May, the quarterback, because that ball looked like it was going to go out of bounds, didn't it, Gary?
It was close to going out of bounds. I wasn't sure if he was going to be able to control it before it went out of bounds or he went out of bounds, but they pointed Lorain's direction, so they're going to have the football.
Lorain was very fortunate that the closest man to the ball was somebody used to handling the ball, and he was able to pull it back inbounds. So that's 3 turnovers in the half, Gary.
And now, I'm going to see what the Titans come out and do offensively. I don't know exactly. We don't have the luxury of knowing exactly how much time's left in the ballgame, but we do know this, that the Titans have been very successful with the long ball today from going from May to Christian. I kind of got a feeling that they might try that again here somewhere.
Dave McFarland's a gunslinger. He's not afraid to take a chance. They're up 12-6. We're late in the second quarter, but as you say, we don't know how much time.
Now Christian has moved from the right to the left in the slot.
Make him a little bit harder to whistle.
And May's got two backs right next to him in the backfield to help block, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Timeout Lorain. And to me, that would almost indicate that we're pretty late in the second quarter, Gary, that we're going to burn a timeout like that just to make sure we're in the right situation.
Well, you're right. There's, without knowing how much time's left, there's a lot of things we could speculate on there.
Right.
Obviously, you want to make sure that you don't turn the ball over down here because you're deep down in the
you want to go in with
territory.
the lead. That's number 1.
So whatever play you're running, you want to make sure that you don't turn the ball over. That's the first and foremost thing.
Now, since the first drive, Lorain has had little success running the football. So we'll see what they go to here.
Once again, Christian out in the slot on the left side. The ball is snapped, and it's going to be, I think it was May that kept the football himself.
Yeah, he didn't get back to the line.
So what that did is it got the clock running.
Yep. And we're going to try and get the attention of the young man with the box.
All right.
Moved it. Now he's got to put the 2 up instead of the 1. 2nd and 11.
Well, at least we know that's the case, even though he hasn't got it flipped over yet.
Right. You know, now if you were playing this game solely to win, you might put May under center here because they have had some bad snaps. Oh, he's going long.
And he threw it out to the right side over here, and Tyron Taylor was the intended receiver, but I don't know even if he'd have caught it if he'd have been in bounds.
Yeah, it was well covered, and
bring up a 3rd down and 11 situation. The Titans are.
Now, Coach Grooms got off the bench and walked over to Coach McFarland, and I'm sure there was something said about don't put my guys in a hole. So we'll see what happens here on 3rd and 11.
Ball snap coming back and incomplete. Attempted to get it to Christian over the middle, but a little short, and he wouldn't have even had the first down even if he would have caught it. It's 4th down right now, and let's see if the Titans just do the automatic punt.
That's what it looks like as the official is walking the ball out. Let's see, we were on the 13, so put it on the 38. 37, 38-yard line. That's where they're.
And it's going to be Garfield Heights football. With
late in the second quarter.
Yes, late in the second quarter. We're not sure.
Gary, once upon a time, Joe Bach and I did a junior high game from the back of his pickup truck.
Did you know how much time was left in the game?
Not a clue. And we were right on the sidelines, and the parents were running in front of us. And
all right, Garfield Heights with the football on the Lorain, about the 38-yard line. Quick pitch to the right side. That's going to be, Chad Evans.
They have figured out that they can outflank. It's good to see Chad Evans back in the game. He was shaken up on a late hit on the last series.
And he's going to pick up about 12 yards and for a first down.
And, of course, that stops the clock that we know nothing about.
So
now the Titans have been outflanked on the last several sweeps. So there's got to be an adjustment there. The defensive ends are going to have to get a little bit wider or, get upfield and turn it in because they seem to be peeking a little bit too much into the backfield.
The ball is snapped. A quick pass down there. Double pass going deep into the end zone, and there's a man up there all by himself.
Now,
nobody around.
If
it's going to be a touchdown, at least it's been signaled a touchdown.
You know what? That's a touchdown because we have 4 officials. Because the first pass was a forward pass, in my opinion. And,
obviously people are going to be able to see it on the replay here. We're at a particular angle. I actually do think it was a lateral.
It was close. I'd like to see it on the replay to see where the.
But nonetheless, the officials ruled it a touchdown. So,
and I'll tell you what, that was a heck of a throw, the second pass, because he did have a man out there. And I just talked about the guys on the wide guys peeking in the backfield, and we got caught peeking for sure there. So it's 12-all as they go for this 2-point conversion.
Yeah, we've got 2 receivers to the left, 2 receivers to the right. The slot man goes in motion, and we're going to quick handoff to him. And it's going to come back the other way, a double reverse situation, and into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. That's going to be number 3 for Garfield Heights.
John Johnson.
John Johnson.
He was the same young man that fumbled the last one. That was going to score the 2 points on the last one, and it popped out of his hand as he went over.
That time he held on to the football and gives Garfield Heights their first lead of the football game.
14-12 is the count. The Titans will get it back at the 35. Garfield Heights will get the ball coming out in the second half.
And we're not sure how much we have left in the first half yet.
Right.
But the Titans are going to have the football.
Well, it's just going to put a lot more heat on Lorain. Now you're down for the first time. Now I see that May is not coming out to take the snaps. He is on one knee on the sidelines.
Well, this might just be a situation where get the clock started and run out this first half. Once again, we're not sure how much time is left.
We had 12 that time. Still going to be in the gun.
We get that first play started, and
Here comes student body right.
going to be tackled inbounds to get that clock started.
Yeah, I think that's the plan here. Whistle. Well, the official on the far side stopped the clock.
He did. I'm not sure.
The Garfield coaches are out on the field. It looks like they used a timeout, but I didn't see a signal.
Yeah, they may have called timeout. They may have thoughts of getting the ball back one more time.
Lorain's intention is to run out the clock, and they don't want May to take another hit with that ankle. So they'll stay in the gun and try to run out the clock. We can't tell you how well that's going to go. I believe that is their third timeout if the signals previous had been correct.
Ironically enough, you've got a guy back there that is not your regular quarterback, and the snap actually came back good to him that time.
Yes. Yeah, May at times has looked like a soccer goalkeeper.
All right.
So
here we go, and
clock will start on the snap.
We got May back in the backfield now, playing quarterback. He's got two backs on either side of him to protect him. They're going to throw it up, and it's going to be picked off.
Yeah. Spun out of a tackle.
Spun out of a tackle and took it down to the 20-yard line. That was number 4. And
Sean Dukes.
Sean Dukes with the interception.
And about the worst thing that could happen to the Titans just did.
He turned the ball over deep in their half of the field.
The first time they were behind in the game, and the turnover. And as we come nearing the end of the second quarter, remembering that now Garfield Heights will have the ball 2 times in a row should they end the half with it.
And we've seen that they're not shy about trying anything and everything. They scored a touchdown on a double pass. They scored a 2-point conversion on a double reverse. It's pretty much anything and everything out there right now.
Yep. This game has had some highs and some lows. There's no doubt about that. Garfield Heights got off the bus, and, I must say for a freshman team, they are big.
All right, Garfield Heights. Ball snap. He's going to hang it out there, and there's nobody by him. And it's going to be another touchdown for Garfield Heights.
That's McAlpin, number 2. And that's what I have, just McAlpin.
I see that.
So
he might be a big deal around Garfield Heights. He only needs one name.
Yeah, maybe it's like Liberace.
Yeah. Liberace. Liberace, Prince.
Yeah, that was where I was going next. I was going to say I'm dating myself.
Jordan.
Prince would have been better. LeBron.
Yeah, he's got one name, McAlpin. Well, he showed it right there.
That's all he needs.
Catching that touchdown.
So Titans down 8 right now. Now you're trying to keep it a 1-possession game.
Garfield Heights with the quarterback under center this time.
First time anybody has been under center.
And he's going to toss it out there out to the end zone.
Yep, nope.
And unsuccessful.
But it's 20-12. Garfield Heights now 20 in a row.
And after a really nice start by the Titans, like you said, it's been 20 points in a row for Garfield Heights.
Well, the biggest adjustments have been made by the Garfield Heights offense. They were very bottled up early. But they came out and they found the wide stuff that worked. 2 jet sweeps they got about 50 yards on. And now, recently, the pass, and it's all been to the same corner of the end zone.
Yeah, Deshaun Phillips has done a nice job, number 6, of running the football early on in this half. I should say this quarter for Garfield Heights, and it's loosened things up for their offense.
So Titans are back at the 35.
And the ball
just knelt. May was under center that time and knelt on the football. Looks to me like the last play of the half, Gary.
And it is. We've got players leaving the football field. The score is 20-12. Garfield Heights over the Lorain High Titans in freshman football action. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with second half action right after this. Back here in second half action. And right off the bat, huge play for Garfield Heights as they take the ball. Looking like it's going to be a 65-yard play for a touchdown.
Yes, it is. Chad Evans.
Chad Evans with a big run for Garfield Heights.
And we talked in the second quarter, Gary, about how Garfield Heights had found the wide play. They used the jet sweeps, they used the toss sweep, and that was just another in a long line. He hit the corner, and he was gone.
It's going to be 65 yards.
So it's 26-12.
26-12 with the conversion attempt on the way. We barely got things started here in the second quarter.
Clock stopped,
second
we know
half,
that.
third quarter. Yeah, there's probably less than 10 seconds off the clock.
Now they've got an uncovered receiver on the left side, Gary. Now he's coming in motion. There's the same play they scored the last conversion on.
Same play, double reverse, got into the end zone.
Johnson run.
Johnson for 2. And it's going to be 28.
Now you've got 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions between you and a tie game.
So as we get the second half underway, it's going to be...
We just got a name from the sidelines, Gary.
All right. Good.
Number 35 is Emmanuel Rosario. Thank you to Mr. Trout, who is here with his students. Let's mention them while we have the opportunity. Club TV 20, Hannah Wright, Parker Capronica, Ramon Ramos, Jeffrey Torres, along with Mr. Terry Trout and Mr. Joe Bach, doing everything they can to make us look as good as possible, Gary.
And sometimes that's hard to do.
Yeah. If it was up to them, we'd have a clock. We've got replays on the scoreboard, but we don't have a clock.
All right, the Titans with the football. Their first possession of the second half of play. Lobs it up there.
That was going to be a hook and ladder if I don't miss my guess. I know that Coach McFarland has run that before. Cesar Melendez, 21, had the pass bounce off his hands, but right outside of him was number 7, Alex Christian, who we have seen with the football go a long way.
All right. They still haven't changed the down marker on the other side, but it's going to be second down. And a quick pass right there. That's going to be to number 4. And we're
Joseph Gaines.
Joseph Gaines with the reception.
About 7.
So got some different personnel touching the football for the Titans to get this second half underway. Pickup of 7, a third down and 3.
Now, Javion Hoskins, 39, is split way out to the right side as they put 3 receivers up there.
May back at quarterback. They were stretching him out at halftime, and he's going to go down.
Fumble. Oh, they called him down. But it's going to make it 4th and 11. And I think that Lorain will probably exercise the automatic punt from there. Yep.
And ball's going to go over on the punting situation.
I'm going to guess it's going to be about the 37.
So we're going to give the ball back to Garfield Heights, who ran 1 play so far here in the second quarter for a touchdown.
Well, they put it right at the 40. We call that the rounding off rule. Yes, we'll put it at the closest full yard line.
Is that in the book?
It might as well be for some of these games that we've done lately. So they went 65 yards in one play, Gary. Now they've only got 60 to go. And they have scored 28 unanswered in their last 4 possessions, I believe.
All right, Garfield Heights, 2 receivers to the left, 2 receivers to the right, 1 back in the backfield with the quarterback, number 1.
He's going to keep it.
Keeping it himself, taking it outside to the left, and he's got a first down. He's picking up, about 19, 20 yards before he's run out of bounds.
An easy 20 and no contact. Give him 9. Well, they're going to spot it at the 41, making it a 19-yard gain.
"19 yards. I'm sure the Garfield Heights sidelines will take that.
Well, they've run 2 plays this half, Gary, and haven't been tackled yet.
No. That's one way of looking at it. I'm sure Coach Grooms is not happy about that. Tackling is a part of defense.
Yeah. Well, the one thing you can't teach in any sport is speed. And that's what they're using right now on every play. Again, you can see the downfield blocking. Gaines finally got off the block and was in on the tackle.
Number 11 with that carry.
That's our buddy Jalon Isom. But they're just big gashes, and they're down inside the 20 at the 16.
Isom did a nice job of taking that ball around the outside.
If you were here for the first quarter and you left and you're just coming back now, and you could figure out a score since the scoreboard's not on, you'd have to wonder what in the world happened. Because at the end of 1, it was 6-0, and then shortly after, Lorain scored to make it 12-0. And since then, Garfield Heights has just run up and down the field.
Well, they've found their offense, and they've been very successful with it.
Yeah. Let's see if they go left.
First down and 10 situation, and that's time once again. It's going to be Phillips carrying the ball, and Phillips that time is stopped.
That's our guy, number 35, Emmanuel Rosario. We got a name at halftime, and he made a nice play.
He did. Nice job. Nice stop on Phillips there. Phillips hasn't been stopped very much this afternoon. Give him a pickup of about maybe 2. Depending on where that man with the marker ends up. Maybe 1.
This is a huge series for what could happen in the rest of this game. You're only down 16, which is a lot, but anything more than that almost makes it, with the length of time the quarters are, makes it almost undoable.
One takes a snap, and he goes around the left side and works his way down inside the 5. He's going to be down at about the 1-yard line.
That was kind of easy, wasn't it? Again, they're just getting the corner every play. And one of the reasons is that the corners for Garfield Heights are playing just like linemen. They know it's going to be a run, so they start out like it's a pass pattern, engage that man in the secondary, and are just pushing him back. And the corners are unable to get off those blocks, so there's nobody out wide. Now
and Garfield Heights now coming up to the line of scrimmage on about they're going to place it about the 2-yard line.
Yeah. And it's first down rather than the third down at the box shows.
Garfield Heights, a quarterback up under center. He's going to take it and hand it off to the first man through. Number 11, that's going to be Ison for the touchdown.
And the beat goes on. Once they figured out what they could do, Lorain had not had an answer. And they have just stretched Lorain horizontally. Everybody looks at the spread offense as a passing formation. But what the goal is to spread you out so that there's nobody behind anybody, and all it takes is one seam. You put 5 receivers out wide, you've got 5 guys that have to go out wide with them, and then everybody else has got to be in the box.
And right now, Garfield Heights once again lining up for their 2-point conversion. Quarterback up under center. He takes a snap, and we got a whistle, and we're going to stop this before it goes any further.
Well, I've got some interesting news from the bench, Gary.
All right.
Number 13 that we've been calling Chad Evans. Well,
Yeah.
Chad Evans is our number 1. So we don't know who number 13 is now.
Oh, all right. All right.
Yes.
All right. Well,
So the 5-yard penalty will make the conversion a little bit more challenging.
well, if we get any news to who number 13 is.
Right.
And once again, Chad Evans back under center. Takes a snap, and he's going to have Titans all over him, and that's going to be a big loss on the 2-point conversion.
Now that's how they looked at the beginning of the game. They had line issues, but boy, they have worked those out. And the way they've worked them out is if you're going to penetrate that easily on us, we're just going to go around you. So the Titans now find themselves down 22 in the middle of the third quarter. That's one consolation, is they haven't played a lot in the second half.
Yeah, they've got to find some way to get their offense going again here, Jay, and just to get some positive momentum back on their side. Titans are going to come out here, first down on their own 35-yard line, and try to get the offense going again.
You know, we've been talking about offense and defense, but the Titans have 16 guys in uniform. 17 guys, it looks like. That's 6.
So a lot of those guys are playing offense.
Now
and
they've
defense.
only got 4 offensive linemen. So here comes another. I still think they're one short. They were.
And the ball is snapped, and a quick pitch out there to
That's our guy, Rosario.
tossed out there to Rosario, who's going to be tackled for a loss.
Yeah. And here comes the 11th player in, I think. I think we ran that play with 4 linemen and a tight end.
That's going to bring up a second down and 15.
And again, the reason for some of the confusion is a lot of freshmen have been pulled up to other levels to fill in gaps. And these coaches have done an amazing job keeping these guys as competitive as they've been. And you can look at the score now, 34-12, and say, well, they're not very competitive, but this game was totally different at the outset. And there's an incompletion behind the line intended for Rosario, though, so no pass interference.
Yeah, once again, the Titans tried to swing that ball out there to Rosario. That time it didn't even get to him. It was tipped. Nice defensive play by Garfield Heights.
Now they have Christian out there lining up on a wing, and they have been unable to get him the ball since his last touchdown, which was early in the second quarter.
Well, part of that is the defensive pressure as well has been
Right.
been all over
Now
Evans.
that's away.
And this time he's going to be caught. Little bit of a pickup, but not much.
The right idea was there.
Picked up a couple, but that's going to bring up a fourth down and 14.
Yeah. And I'm sure that Garfield Heights figured out pretty early you've got to know where number 7 is and make sure you're following him, and they just did right there. The whole defense flowed to the side. Now let's see what they do. Will they take the 25-yard kick, or are they just going to turn it into 4th down?
Well, they changed the
Now there was a whistle.
Sideline marker to 1st down. But
we've seen that before. That doesn't necessarily mean anything.
No, not really. But we have both teams coming to the side, so we have a timeout out there on the field.
Well, it does give me a chance, Gary, to talk about the Spaghetti Dinner fundraiser again. Wednesday, October 13th, 2021. It's a carry-out spaghetti dinner at Lorain High School. It's to support the Lorain Schools Issue 37 committee. The cost is $10. You get the whole 9 yards: spaghetti, meatballs, salad, roll, and cookies. And you hardly can find a better value in fundraisers than $10 for that dinner. Sponsored by the Levy Committee and Aramark. And if you need tickets, contact 440-654-8853. That is Bambi Dillon, and she is in charge of ticket sales for the Levy Committee.
No, you said the 13th, so that'd be 2 weeks from yesterday.
Yes.
So October 13th, make sure you make plans to do that. And like you said, $10, you're right. You're not going to find a better deal. You can't go to a drive-thru or a
McDonald's will cost you that much.
A fast food place and get a meal for under $10 these days for the most part.
Now they've turned the field around, so that assumes that it's now the 4th quarter, Gary.
Okay. We got that all straightened out.
And they've moved the 25 yards from what would have been the punt. They were on the 30, so they're at the 45. And Garfield Heights has the ball, 1st and 10. And we are in the 4th quarter.
All right. We're in the 4th quarter. Garfield Heights has the football. They are up 34-12. And Chad Evans is going to keep it himself, and he's got Titans all over him.
Boy, was that well played. Number 61, Robert Brown Jr., stayed home on this side, didn't buy for the ball fake, as they've been running that jet sweep, and they faked it that time and ran a keeper. And just a nice job by the defense, the outside linebacker.
The Titans have come up the last couple of possessions with a couple of nice defensive plays and tackles for losses.
You got to string them together, though.
So once again, Garfield Heights coming out. It's going to be 2nd down and about 12. Chad Evans back there to take the snap. He does. It's a high snap. He pulls it down. He's going to keep it himself going around the left end, and there's nobody in front of him at first, but he's run out of bounds. He's going to pick up about 16 yards.
Wow.
For the 1st down.
They get the corner, and when they do, they're picking up lots of yards.
Picks up the 1st down, and
that time Evans got the best of Brown on the corner, and he let him know about it after the play. I don't know if you noticed that. But he waited until Brown was looking at him and then gave the 1st down signal.
It's going to be 1st down on the Lorain 40-yard line. Once again, Garfield Heights on the move. This time they've got Evans in the backfield. He hands it off to 13, going around the right end, and he's going to have a 1st down and a little bit more as he moves away and spins out of a tackle and picks up about 4 more yards. It's going to be a pickup of about 14. And Garfield Heights keeps moving down the field and picking up another 1st down.
Yep, as Hank Stram used to say, they're matriculating on down the field, Gary.
Yes, they are.
It's now 4th down according to the box.
Yeah, he's not quite on it at this moment.
And he can't look at the scoreboard to see that it's not.
And none of the officials on the field are helping him out either.
I was just going to say, this game has settled into a very casual affair. Garfield Heights moseys up to the line.
And get up to the line of scrimmage once again. They've got, this time they've got two receivers, wide receiver to the left, two men in the slot on the left side.
Yeah.
One out to the right, one back in the backfield, and this time it's going to be 13 taking the ball, and it looks like he's going down.
There's discretion there.
He's going to lose about 10 yards, but
well played by Rosario. 35 was the first one there, and he got away from Rosario, but Rosario had some friends on the way, and he just kind of said, enough's enough. Loss of about 10?
Yep, loss of 10, and
let's see if it goes to 5th down. 2nd down.
Now they got it to 2nd. We're back on track.
But nobody's in any hurry.
No sense of urgency. Is that what you're saying, Jay?
That play kind of epitomized what's going on in the game right now. He just got back in the backfield and looked around and sat down.
Said, we're up by 22. I'm not going to get crushed.
Yeah. It's freshman football. You can tell because the right tackle's number 15.
Speaking of 22, it's 2nd and 22.
Yeah.
Garfield Heights.
And the right guard is number 24.
Yes, the numbers on an offensive line, I noticed it during the warm-ups. They're all over the map as well.
Yeah, well, it's freshmen, and Garfield Heights roster lifts 2 different sets of numbers, which I'm sure has been jerseys that didn't get returned or got torn. The freshmen get the hand-me-downs. And that's another reason for some of the confusion on the Titan roster is because in white, I'm sure they have different numbers because they've got missing numbers in each of the 2 colors.
And we've got the
lights on,
stoppage
Gary.
in the action. Well, yeah, the freshmen are playing under the lights tonight.
And you know why? I'm guessing there's another second bus there, and we've watched the girls' soccer team come in. I'm going to guess that there's a girls' soccer game after this.
All right. 2nd and 22, Garfield Heights. Chad Evans takes the snap, and after all that, we've got a penalty.
Wide receiver up top jumped.
That's going to make it 2nd down and 27.
Yeah, just keep walking.
What Lorain needs right now
is a pick six.
I was going to say turnover. You got a little greedy on me there, but I'll take it if they can get it.
That's okay.
And a quick pitch out to the right side out there. And he's going to pick up a nice chunk of that yardage.
He got all but 3.
We get number 20 out there on that reception.
Yeah.
And
yes, we did.
Yes, we did. Number 20. Did a nice job.
Now there's a flag. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Garfield Heights. So there must have been a taunt or one of the magic words said after the play. Because that official just casually tossed the flag about the 28-yard line. And they're marching back 15.
You pick up 22 yards and then you get an unsportsmanlike conduct out there.
And that's going to cost them the down because it was well after the play. So instead of being 3rd and 3, it's going to be 3rd and a lot. They've got to go to the 17-yard line, it looks like.
Quick handoff out there. It's going to be Ison.
And he's going to get back right to where they were the last play. But now it's going to be 4th down.
And like you said, he got them right back to where they were. They're within striking distance of picking up this first down.
Oh, yeah.
At one point, it was 2nd down and 27, and they've made it.
Now, where are they putting? Okay, now I'm really confused.
Yes, they've moved the ball back. I don't know. Was there a holding out there or something?
No, not that I saw. They're going to put it back down where it ended.
Oh, okay. Okay, we've got it all straightened out, probably.
You know the guy on the box, I'm thinking it's his world and we're all just visitors.
4th down and 4.
Yep.
I am highly confident it is 4th down, and he looks pretty close to where he should be.
Yep. The center must not need to know this play because he wasn't in the huddle.
Question is, do they always do the snap count on the same thing, or is he just watching the quarterback's hands, or what? All right, going to hand it off to Ison.
Going to have the first down and a lot more.
And he's going to have the first down and a whole lot more, and 6 more points for Garfield Heights as he gets into the end zone.
And that was just a simple straight-ahead play that he busted outside. You can tell that the Titans have run out of gas. You know, we talked about 16 players in uniform. Well, you can see that they have hit the wall.
That was a 21 yard?
Yep.
21-yard touchdown.
Now, if they pick up this conversion, Gary, it's going to be a running clock.
And it is, at this point, 40-12.
Yep.
I only know that because I've been writing it down.
Yep.
We've got a 2-point conversion attempt on the way. Chad Evans back there takes the snap.
That's what they've been doing on the...
Hands it off, and this time the Titans come up with a defensive play.
They've run the counter on that too many times. They've run it more than they run the jet sweep. But that seems to be the 2-point play. Now it's 40-12, so we'll continue. Injured player from Garfield Heights, number 3, John Johnson, still on the ground. He's got a cramp.
Yeah, they're stretching him out there, which...
Boy, anytime you see a player down, you are so glad when they do just what they're doing right now. It's lifting their
I was going to say, yeah, you don't like to see players down on the ground, but when they start stretching them out, you're like, yeah. Might miss a little bit, but he'll be all right.
Well, Gary, we've got a little bit of a break, and this is kind of a personal thing. Found out some bad news today. A longtime friend of Lorain athletics, Derek English Sr., turned 60 today and unfortunately passed away because of COVID. And I'd like to take a minute to, express the sympathy to Derek and his family and the many, many friends he had. If you didn't know Derek but you were a fan of high school basketball, you'd recognize him because he was always in a gym. So God bless you, Derek English, at 60 years old. Will this COVID thing ever go away?
That I could not tell you.
Okay. I'm looking down trying to see the logistics of what's coming up, and I see Brian Corey talking to Andrew Knowles, the girls' soccer coach. So I am going to guess that they probably have, it's 6:41. I'm going to guess they probably were scheduled to start at 7, and they're going to move it back because we aren't going to end.
Well, we have seen a lot of scoring here in the second half of play, and it's
we've had a lot of clock stoppages for extra points and 25-yard punt walk-offs.
Yes. And some have just been for general confusion.
Yes.
But nonetheless, Lorain is going to take over on their own 35.
We've played through a lot of that confusion, Gary. Intended for Tracy Huff, number 19, and they just weren't on the same page. Tracy ran a stop, and May threw a keep going.
And the Titans are going to come out in the 2nd and 10 situation, and they right now at this point just want to put something positive together offensively.
Finish on a high note for sure.
They've had some high notes. Most of them were in the first half of the ball game. A couple things here and there, but they want to be able to put one drive together here if they can.
Yeah, if you look at the score, it's 40-12. The Titans had a 12-0 lead with the ball.
And that is something positive coming over the middle in a nice pass. And once again, it's Christian picking up big yardage for the Titans.
And part of the problem has been they just haven't been able to get him the ball just like that. You can see the big play ability that Christian has, Alex Christian. I mean, number one, he's got great size for a wide receiver.
And he's got great hands, too.
Yep.
If the ball gets near him, we've seen him tipped around, bobbled, but he's pulled it in, and he had a great interception earlier on in the ball game, too. Pulled one down with one hand. So he's got great hands, and he's got good speed. A bright spot for sure on this freshman ball club.
1st and 10. Oops.
And that is number 35, Emmanuel Rosario, running around the right side. And there were just Garfield Heights defenders all over him.
Now there's a flag. And this is going to be for something said after the play, because Al Ivey is 10 yards away and tossed that flag up in the air. And it's going to be on Garfield Heights.
And that's going to mean, will it be first down or just?
Well, I think all personal fouls carry an automatic first down. So if it's a personal foul, but now the two teams are coming off, and I think that's the end.
And I would guess that we haven't seen a real definitive signal from any of the officials yet, but I would guess you are correct. They are lining up to shake hands, and Garfield Heights is victorious over the Lorain High Titan Freshmen, 40-12. And wrapping up things here at George Daniels Stadium. Jay, your thoughts and comments on this ball game as we call it an afternoon?
Well, just as you know, right there, part of the story of the game is as you look at the two handshake lines, one of them's a lot longer than the other. And the Titans are, with 16 guys, they started strong and they ran out of gas, and they just had no answer for Garfield Heights' speed game.
Well, you're right. They came up with they figured out some tricks, some things that they could do, get the ball outside, and they took advantage of it, and they came out in the second half and got things going right off the bat, and there was really no looking back, and the Titans just could not recover from that.
They played hard till the end, and I'm proud of them for that. And they've learned some lessons all along the way, and I'm sure that the two coaches that are walking out there with them, Dave McFarland and Bill Grooms, will find some positives among the negatives.
Oh, there was definitely some positives this afternoon. There's going to be some things that they are able to look at on film and say, hey, we can correct this. We got to do this, this, and this. And there's going to be some positives. There was some this afternoon, and hopefully that they can improve upon those in the future. It was a pleasure working with you, Jay. Our first time together that I can remember.
Yeah, I think so. And it was a little bit different experience with what we didn't have in terms of the clock and some number issues and stuff like that. But it was fun, Gary, and I'll look forward to doing it again.
Slightly challenging, but like you said, it was fun. I look forward to doing it again, and have a great day. And once again, for everybody here that did a great job at TV 20, My name is Gary Pelter, and thank you to Jay Ferguson, and have a good afternoon, everybody.